is Sunday, October 21st, 2012. And this morning was actually pretty much the worst morning, because I come to the realization that all this suffering and pain is because I didn't take care of myself and my body and my health and look after myself. I didn't look after myself, and I was so close to so many points to doing the right thing, but I never did. And just the fact that a simple bottle of magnesium citrate would have cleared me out, you can't explain. I can explain it to you, but you have to have lived through it and have the feeling. The feeling is very devastating. It's so devastating. People don't, I'm just talking about, people don't go for a walk in the park because they just, are a little blue. It's when feelings become so devastating that you don't want to, you're sick of your own mind, you're sick of experiencing those feelings like over and over, like so many different aspects bring on that same feeling of self-resentment and self-hatred. That's what makes you, want to go for a walk in the park. So those are becoming very, strong, and it almost feels inevitable. Like I can have a purpose here. I can tell people and warn people about synthetic antibiotics, especially the fluoroquinolone antibiotics, and what they did to me. I can tell you what they did to me, but it's also how it came about and how I didn't do what I should have done and what my body was telling me. When you betray your own body, and nature is an ever-present reminder, the natural world is an ever-present reminder of your betrayal of it. It's hard to even live. You see how beautiful nature is and how beautiful your body is every time you look at it. And when you realize that you betrayed it, it's just a constant pressure and devastation, and the medical field will say, oh, you need this drug, you need an antidepressant, or you need an anti-anxiety, antipsychotic. And the truth is that there is no cure. I was reading the forums about Seroquel, and it's amazing how many people have Seroquel or on Seroquel and are suicidal, And I think Seroquel increases your suicidal thoughts. I was reading about that, and there was a quote on there. Somebody said, there is no cure for self-hatred. There's a lot of people talking about suicide, and one person said there is no cure for self-hatred. And that's true. It doesn't matter how many drugs you take, you can't cure resentment of self, at a certain level. There's a certain core of you that when it's violated, there's no recovery. It's just, an illusion, you know, and I have these constant reminders, and my physical state is a constant reminder. And, you know, like I said, reality in nature, you know, everything is a constant reminder of what I have and how reckless I was and stupid with my own body. And, you know, I'd like to recover, but it's not happening, you know. And you people are probably saying, oh, well, why don't you go see a doctor? You know, doctors don't believe in fluoroquinolone damage. And what are they're not going to be able to reverse my nerve damage, you know. You know, it's like, I wake up this morning and I feel heavier than ever. My arms feel like lead. The twitch continues in my left tricep, and of course the spasm is continuing. I want to be positive and stuff, but you know, my mind has a very keen sense of reality and the cruel, you know, nature of just reality, and what has something just so small has destroyed my life, and decisions that seem so small and have ruined my life, you know, my laziness, and you know, I mean, you can see the veins on my neck now. I'm losing tissue everywhere, you know, and the spasm isn't going to stop, you know, with me degrading, you know. Maybe if I was getting healthier and everything, and, you know, it's like, the Cipro didn't just, you know, in case you're wondering, the Cipro didn't just cause a spasm, you know, it weakened my entire body. Ever since I've taken it, you know, I've been a weakling, and my joints are weak. My shoulder pops. It created so much pain in my descending colon, at the bottom of my descending colon. If you saw the pictures on the sigmoidoscopy that they did of my descending colon and that area, it looked like a war zone. There was so much damage to the walls. They said unspecified colitis. And they took biopsies, and they came back and they said, well, it seems normal, because it was damaged by the atom bomb of the Cipro, which collected in there because I was constipated. You know, I couldn't go to the bathroom the whole time I was on the Cipro. You know, that just compounded everything, because once I got the enema at the hospital, I finally demanded it, you know, but this was after the nerve damage. You know, I felt so much better. I can't explain how much better, because I dumped all the toxic residue from the Cipro, and the flagell came out, and everything came out, and I felt a lot better. But the nerve damage had already been done. You know, when I got home, I still was feeling the spasm, and I could feel it in the back of my neck, and I just panicked. And I think I've told my story. You know, I've told it over and over. It's just, you know, it's a nightmare, you know. The whole time I could have gotten a colonic, which is what my dad was suggesting, but I didn't. My dad suggested I stop the antibiotics. I did, but the doctor told me to keep taking them, even after I told him about swelling up my arms. You know, that the doctor is, I think about all these points in time, you know, and they're so horrible, you know, like, because of what has happened because of it, and you know, that's what I have to avoid thinking. So I have to avoid thinking pretty much, you know, today, you know, it's like, you know, I just want to go I really think about going for a walk in the park, you know, tonight. I go for a walk in the park. I joined my old dog rally, you know.